Hey, what's up and hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, let's see who is here. Hey, Tragically. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Yuli. Hey, Nene. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, you can hear me. You can hear me. Hello. Did you guys get a notification or you guys just came in? Let me know because I'm trying to see with every live how many people are getting notifications. Hey, Antoinette. What's up, girlie? All right, child. I thought I was going to have a very peaceful night. Oh, you did get a notification. Good, Mimi. Good. I thought I was gonna have a very peaceful night. I was gonna make my keto guacamole, you know what I mean? Prepping my meals day by day. You know, the boring adult stuff, minding my own business. And then, damn, this comes out. First thing on my phone this morning, I see Jada says that Will and her have been separated since 2016. 7+ years. Hey, Andre, you didn't get a notification? Did you press the notification button? Hey, Joseph, what's up? I think you have to press it to get it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure though, but I'm glad you're here. Just started. Um, so here's the thing. I don't know how old everyone is on here, but I I have never been diehard fans of Jada or Will. However, because of my age, I grew up on them and I'm very familiar with the story that they always wanted to present to us. Okay. So, with that, I've never been a diehard fan, but it was kind of like it was one of those things that when they did interviews and different things like that, I don't know. I guess I feel like the Black community, for the most part, kind of was tuned in on their relationship and who they were. Also, the fact that, yes, I grew up on their work. We all know Will Smith started off as a rapper. Parents just don't understand. Summertime is still one of my favorite rap songs. I still jam the summertime during the summertime and even out of the summertime. And then, of course, he went to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Jada, I remember Jada more so. To me, her first debut for me was on A Different World. A Different World was that show for me. I grew up loving that show. So she was a regular on that show for the new generation of A Different World people. Yeah, and of course, we saw her friend, her Ace Boon Coon, and apparently probably some other things too, allegedly, don't know, Tupac on there as well. So to see their whole relationship, to see, hey Shayla, ooh, white chili girl, is it keto? I'm back on my keto. I'm getting back on my keto. Y'all talking about chili. Antoinette was talking about sushi. Child, I'm hungry. But anywho, so I grew up on them and saw a lot and what they wanted to portray, what they wanted to show us in the public eye. Now, of course, we did hear the rumors. I know a lot of us heard the rumors. Even if you don't live out here, you heard the rumors that apparently, allegedly, they had an open relationship. And then you have had certain vloggers who have claimed they confirmed that they have heard how they get down and all of that stuff. We've heard that. But again, my whole thing is they were always discreet. It's none of our business, anyways, unless they want it to be our business. Now, why did I say resentment relationship? I don't think Will and Jada were ever compatible for what they both wanted. Period. I don't think, hey, Mickey, what's up? I don't think they were ever compatible, ever. And what confirmed that even more is that, hell, when was the first confirmation? I want to say the first confirmation, in my opinion, well, there were to me little hints prior, but I would say the real first confirmation is really the red table talk that a lot of the red table talk confirmed even more of who Jada was as a person. She said from the beginning, she was not the marrying type. She didn't even believe in marriage. So if you don't believe in marriage, why in the hell did you get married? Okay? Why did you get married? You know what I mean? Like, she said that on her red table talk. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Coco. She said that. And so it makes you wonder why she got married. So let's start off with the basics of Jada. Jada, born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Anybody who knows Baltimore is rough as hell. Okay. And I told you guys I was a big fan of The Wire, but I know Baltimore very well. Baltimore is The Wire was not lying about Baltimore. Let's just put it like that. So she grew up rough. We know that her mother was into drugs. Grew up very rough. She had a passion for the performing arts from the beginning. No child goes to a performing arts high school or pursues schooling in the performing arts if that is not a passion of theirs. Okay? Yes, of course I acknowledge y'all. I don't take y'all for granted. That is one thing, Coco, baby. That's one thing I will tell y'all time and time again. I do not take my followers for granted. So she had history, and of course, that's where she met Pac. So this is gonna be all my opinion. My opinion. I think Jada was gun-ho hungry on pursuing her career in this industry. She wanted Baltimore. I'm going to pronounce it the way it's spelled. Baltimore. And yes, be more also. Yeah, we going to get into that, Mickey. We going to get into that. So she was pursuing her career, and at one point, for those who remember, now I know some of y'all not old enough to remember, Jada was an it girl. She was an it girl. Hey, Tashonda, she was an it girl. It was between her. It was between Nia Long at one point. It was like her, Nia Long, Vivica Fox, and Halle. I mean, I know Halle's biracial, but she was considered, of course, she's considered a Black woman in the Black community. Those were, like, in my opinion, like the top 4 at one point in the beginning mid 90s. Those were the constant rotation of girls that you used to constantly see. And y'all let me know if y'all agree or not. But I would say it was Jada, it was Nia, it was Vivica, and it was Halle. Okay. That's who was constantly there. As far as the it girl, the sex appeal girls. Okay. That's what that was. Hey, Ruby. Hey, Ruby Skies. Yeah. So I feel like it was them. So she was at one point an it girl. Then she gets pregnant. Okay. And she talks about this on the Red Table Talk. She gets pregnant. Kenya Moore definitely was, in my opinion, considered, Mickey was saying, Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore was definitely that Black Barbie doll. Kenya Moore's always been gorgeous, but she was not, as far as acting is concerned, actress-wise, she wasn't an it girl. She had little roles here or there, but these were girls who were in constant rotation. And I want to say that even Nia Long or someone in that group of 4 said those were the girls they constantly had to fight against when it came to certain roles. they were always those girls that they actually, always was going up against, certain roles that were out there. Those were the girls that you would constantly see. So she gets pregnant and she ends up marrying Will, though she didn't want to marry him. And I think that Jada, to a certain extent, is an alpha woman, and we have seen that. And she's an alpha woman, but at the same time, she's an alpha woman who, in my opinion, has maneuvered in a way to try to get things that she wanted. So you don't believe in marriage and you get married. Why do you get married? One could say possibly because she wanted to be a kept woman. Oh, I'm sorry. Totally forgot Regina King. Thank you, Joseph. Robin at one point, like maybe in the early 90s, but she kind of lost. Halle kind of took over her spot. Like Boomerang, by the end of Boomerang, we was like Robin given to. But yeah, at one point, Robin maybe had like a year or two, but Regina King definitely was one too. But I would say as far as the sex appeal wise, you had certain girls that were for roles strictly for sex appeal. Regina King, in my opinion, as beautiful as she is, I think people picked her for roles simply because of her acting, her timing, her comedy strengths. I don't know if she was ever the sexual it girl, but y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't think she was, though. In my opinion, those were the girls, and Robin Gibbons at one point was in rotation. So here's the thing. One can say she got married because she wanted to be a kept woman. But in my personal opinion, and I think Nene just sat up there and said it, because me and Nene definitely think alike. A lot of y'all who on my page, I swear, I'm like, y'all are in my brain. Like, you're in my brain. I think, in my opinion, it was a career move. It was a career move, and she thought it was going to be an easier way for her to be able to tap into her career, make it easier to get like jobs that she wanted, to be in a better position as far as her career. But here's the problem. How many power couple situations do you see where you have one of the biggest actor or actresses, and that significant other, that spouse, is just as big? You don't see it. Denzel Washington is Denzel Washington. We know who his wife is, but she's not a star. Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. We know he has a wife, but she's not a star. At the end of the day, no one was going to be higher or even at the level of Will Smith on where they were taking his career. It just wasn't going to happen. So in reality, in my opinion, when she married him, she thought it was going to be better for her career, but it was honestly the death of her career. Her career never was the same after she got married and she started her family. But that is in my opinion. At one point, we constantly saw Jada. And then after that, it was Jada slowly went into, we knew her as Jada, but she was more so Will Smith's better half. And most of her interviews and everything else became more of a unit of Will and Jada. And in my opinion, I think she resented that. I think over time, she became bitter. Because again, she had a passion for the arts and wanting to be seen. You do not want to be an actress. You want to be seen. That's what you want. Another good example of that I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but the Currys. Steph Curry, his wife, is a good example of that, because I noticed that she would always want to be seen or want to have her lane. And then I found out at one point she wanted to be an actress, apparently, or allegedly. When people want to act, when people have a strong desire of doing acting, they want to be seen. They want to be in front of the camera. Jada is no exception to the rule. So she literally thought it was going to help her, but it hindered her. It damn sure hindered her. So Will had his idea of what he wanted. Will, in my opinion, has never wanted a wife as a celebrity. He wanted his wife to be his wife, to be a stay-at-home, take care of the kids. He seems to be a very traditional guy in that sense. Jada is not traditional. So immediately clashing. But Will wanted what he wanted. He wanted what he wanted, and he wanted Jada. Because he even said on the Red Table Talk, he saw Jada, he saw her on the show, end up going on set, and when he went on set to look for Jada, he ended up seeing his first wife and got sidetracked. But he always had a thing for Jada. But you know who Jada had a thing for? That's who Jada had a thing for. Okay? Jada has always clearly had her love for Tupac. And in my opinion, again, all alleged, don't know. In my opinion, you know, especially when we're in our younger years, we end up loving or wanting so badly to be with a guy who's not really checking for us in that way. Like that them high school years, that crush. Like, I know at least once in people's lives, if they don't want to admit it or not, you have had a crush on a guy or a girl who didn't necessarily have a crush on you. Y'all was cool, but they didn't have a crush on you. But you got this other guy or girl who's deeply in love with you, willing to do anything and everything for you. In my opinion, that's what that situation is. She had this big time crush love for Pac. Pac was that bad guy, but was very talented. You know what I'm saying? Very, like out there, spoke his truth, was just all the things manly in her mind that she wanted, but he didn't necessarily want her. He was doing his thing. They were, he died at 25 years old. But then you got this guy over here who's a nice guy, not, a street guy. You're not really attracted to him, but he wants you. And not only does he want you, and he has a career in the field that you are trying to have longevity in. I think that was the case. And we all have heard that before, that you go with the one who's in love with you. You make sure you end up being with the person who's in love with you, or you go with the person who's in love with you more. That's what I think it is. So we have this situation where I just don't think they were ever compatible. I don't even think she really respected Will, because I'm sure how many people actually saw the Red Table Talk with them when they was talking about their relationship, not the August relationship. Hey, brother. Hey, Teeth. Not the August one, but the one where it was Will, it was Jada, and I think I want to say it was Willow and Jada's mom. Hey, Brenton. I don't think I've ever seen you before. And if I haven't, you guys make sure you hit the like button on the way in. But welcome, Brenton. Welcome. So during that Red Table, so you guys, so Coco, you saw the Red Table Talk with all of them. Okay. So with the Red Table Talk, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a story where they were at some type of event or something where they was around family and friends or whatever, and Will got so like Will was talking to Jada and something happened where Jada got so annoyed. She told Will in front of everyone to shut the F up. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when literally okay, hold on, tragically. We're gonna get into that too and bring that back when we get into that about the August situation. But she literally said that she said shut the F up, and then Will ended up like hitting her or smacking her upside the head with like a something. He did something and pretty much told her they need to go talk, and they was about to break up because he was like, I'm not about to be in no verbally abusive, physically abusive type of relationship or whatever the case may be. Like, that's not about to happen. No, I don't think it was her 50th. I want to say this was in the beginning of their relationship because they were about to break up at that time because he was like, I'm not about to go deep into this. I want to say this was around in like earlier in their relationship. Like, I understand, and maybe this is just my opinion. It could just be my opinion. I understand couples get into it. Hell, I done got into it with, you know what I'm saying, my men before. But when you mature or at a certain level, there is a certain level of we're going to get into it, but we're still going to condone ourselves in a certain way in public. We may get a little disrespectful to a certain extent behind closed doors, but in public, we are going to act accordingly because we are a unit. To tell your significant other to shut the F up in front of some people or a lot of people, wherever it happened, to me, that's already showing a sign that you don't really respect that person. But that's my opinion. Like, there's a certain level of just like, I can't do certain things and talk a certain way to my man in front of the public. Now, of course, arguments can get heated behind closed doors, but in my opinion, there's just certain things that you don't do. So when she did that and they talked about that, I said, well, damn, like this is like in the beginning of their relationship, if I'm not mistaken. You know, like, has the respect ever been there? Has it ever been there? So, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm like, good grief. And then not only that, to add insult to injury, you are talking to a Will Smith in that way too, which brings another hurtful hit to the ego. Men already are prideful in general, typically. And to talk to them like that in person is a hit. But for it to be Will Smith, you damn sure know it had to be a hit. So I don't think, in my opinion, she's never respected him. And she's always done certain things to get a rise out of him because she wanted him to always be on that rah-rah, and he's not a rah-rah type. He's the get along type. Get in to fit in type. He's not the rah-rah type. He's not a rebel like Tupac was. Tupac was a rebel. If he didn't like something, he was going to tell you he didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was that type. Will is not that type. He's not. You know what I'm saying? But to a certain extent, Will being Will is the reason why Will has been able to get where he is as far as his career is concerned. He is a likable guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a very, very likable guy. Yes, Tupac was likable. I personally think Tupac, though, was very likable to the rebels of this world. But was he necessarily likable to the industry people that matter? I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? He had no problem ruffling feathers. Will's not that type. You know what I'm saying? He's not that type. So in the beginning, when she said, look at the damn eyes in this picture, y'all. Like, look at the picture. Look at her here. Look at her eyes here. Just look at them. Look at the light in her eyes versus her picture at her freaking wedding. Look at the eyes. Look at them. Let me show y'all that again. Let me just look. Look at that. Look at her eyes. And look at here. Is it just me? Is it just me? So yeah. Well, you talking about Pac? Wait, hold on. Ruby, you talking about Pac? No, I don't think anyone's denying that Tupac wasn't talented. Everybody knows he was talented, but Tupac came from a very rebel spirit. I mean, his parents were Panthers. Like, he wasn't about to necessarily play the game if he didn't want to play the game. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't about playing the game. At least at that young age, he was about playing the game. And I mean, you can really look at the difference in interviews. You look at Tupac's interviews at that time and Will Smith interviews at that time, you know who was about the longevity and the crossover. You see what I mean? That's what I mean by that. But no, I don't think anyone has denied Tupac's talent. Yeah, like, people still think Tupac is alive. They still think Tupac is alive. So there's no denying that he touched a lot of lives in the short amount of time that he was on this earth. And so with the Jada situation, I think she loves Will for Will being the father of her children. I think she loves Will for what he has been able to do for her. I think she loves Will as far as friendship. In my opinion, I don't think she's ever been in love with Will Smith. I don't think she's ever been in love with Will Smith. But my question to y'all is, was Will ever in love with Jada? Or was it about, I want what I want? And that also means I want what I want as far as appearance-wise, I want what I want, and no one is going to stop that. So let me ask y'all that. Do y'all think Will Smith was ever in love with Jada? Or has Will Smith wanted to keep the persona of what he needed for his career? Now, no doubt about it, he wanted her. He definitely was, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, because he said he saw her on TV and he pursued her. But as we know, ladies and gentlemen, just because someone is crazy about pursuing you doesn't mean it's for the right reasons all the time, is it? You know what I mean? Doesn't mean it's for the, just because someone is pursuing you and is obsessed with pursuing you doesn't mean it's for the right reasons. So that can definitely be something we could talk about. And I'll probably open up the panel because we can talk about this, because it seems like y'all got a lot to say. So this may be a panel day. This may be a panel day. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. Was he ever in love with her? You know what I mean? And if she had not gotten pregnant when she gotten pregnant, would that relationship have lasted? Things to think about, huh? Hey, Kimmy. Ooh, Kimmy, you better say that, honey. Let me put that up there real quick and keep it up there. Sometimes the hunt is better than the catch. Y'all think on that for a minute. Perfectly said, Kimmy. So, with that, yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. They had an agreement. And maybe at this point, Jada's over the agreement and she wants out. But what I do have an issue with is that all of a sudden this stuff, this ish is coming out when she got a book out. Because why now? Why do you want to actually put this out here now? So I'm about to play the little clip that was on today, because that's where this interview came from. I believe it's on the Today Show. So fair use. For those who haven't heard, I'm about to play little clips of it now. So fair use.
Surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true? Right. Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. Yes. It was not a divorce on paper, right, but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now, yes, y'all have been apart. Yeah. But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated. So how long have you guys been together? 23 years. Wow. That's amazing. How do you keep it hot? How do I keep it hot? Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm baffled, really. Yeah, right. Over the next several years.
Okay. So, yeah, there is a book. There's a book, and that's why she's doing these interviews. And she actually posted it on her Instagram page, the family gathering around so they could, pick up the book or whatever. So she has a book that's out, or it's either about to come out. Yeah, it seems like this is all about publicity. It's in the book, but the reality is probably no one would have picked up the book if this wasn't exposed to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So now she literally, and you guys heard that, right? You guys heard what I just played? Let me know if you heard it. So she talks about this in the book. And so I'm just like, okay, how convenient. How convenient that you want to talk about this now. Because if you guys have been separated and living separate lives for 7 years, 7+ years, why are you bringing this up now? Why not continue the facade? Which is why I always say all that glitters isn't gold. In any relationship, but especially these industry Hollywood relationships, I'm gonna need for people to stop talking about couple goals. Because couple goals, my ass. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So she claims it's only been 7+ years, but tragically mentioned, and you let me know again, tragically, I saw you said something that the August Alsina situation literally was, and of course, let's talk about this. This is the red table talk, right here. The August Alsina situation was prior to 2016. Did she give us a year when this August Alsina situation happened? And let me start by also saying this, and let me know tragically, but I don't care if he's legal. I don't care. He literally was brought into your world as your son's friend. Literally was brought into your world as your son's friend, who at the time, based on what she said, he was sick at the time. So literally, I will never, ever respect, and I have always looked at her side eye for that ish with August Alsina. Weird, and in my opinion, predatory-like behavior. I don't give a damn how old he was. Literally, when she did that, and she was trying to sit up there and explain her way through it, which in my opinion, when she did that, while I'm grateful that we really started to see layers of who Jada is, and maybe Jada also, it's clear Jada has had her issues, but I was just, when she said, I was like, wow, she, like, do you understand what you're exposing? And it's so interesting that you don't have a lot of people talking about predatory behavior with her with this August thing, but let it be a man who's around her age pursuing a girl around August age, all hell would have broke loose. Predatory behavior is predatory behavior, in my opinion, but it was definitely giving predatory behavior vibes. Sorry, it is what it is. But again, that is just my opinion. No facts, all alleged. But when I saw that Red Table Talk, I said, oh, she done effed up. And the reason why I said she done effed up, because let's just say a divorce goes down. You just admitted on a national syndicated all over Facebook type of situation, you just admitted that you had an entanglement, aka you literally cheated on your husband. You said it. Now, has Will ever admitted that he's cheated? We've heard rumors they're in an open relationship, but he's never admitted it. Right? But she has. And they're in California. And if anything goes down, I'm going to assume that Red Table Talk and the world is going to be used against her by her admitting that she had this entanglement with August. So that's when I said that. I was like, okay, first of all, I'm feeling very uncomfortable with her having this conversation and what she's saying, and she's thinking it's normal to have this relationship with August Alsina. But furthermore, you just admitted pretty much on a national platform, international platform, that you cheated. And Will is just looking at you. And he hasn't admitted anything. Sounds like to me that's a setup. I don't know, but that was just me. But so with that being said, that happens. And mind you, all of this is happening in a matter of years. If you notice that, in my opinion, literally within a matter of years, it has just been back to back stuff. And I don't think it's because of the separation. We don't really know how long they've been separated. They may have been separated and even living in the same house. We don't know. But why is all of this stuff happening now? Like, it's almost coming off like there is a rebel spirit in this mix. There's something going on because you have this entanglement situation. You have, them being very open and candid about their relationship, that they have never been open like that before. Like, because I even remember even a couple years before the Red Table Talk, she even talked about her Freaky Tales life with Will, and was saying how sometimes they like to do it on tables, and especially other people's tables. And that became a big, hoopla. I think Jada is in that moment where whatever attention she can get, she is trying to get it at this point, because she never truly fully got the career that she wanted. Hey, you can ring my bell. It's an entanglement, not a relationship. There's a difference. Yeah, but I wonder what she was telling him versus what she was saying in her mind. I wonder what she was telling him. Still, of course, that still, made it. I was just like, ugh, like, why? Like, out of all the men out there that you can have, because your level, your plethora of guys that you can deal with, even if they knew, of course, that you were married to Will Smith, you have options. Why him? Just why? But moving on. So in the past couple of years, it's been a lot of this stuff in Will and Jada's relationship that, remember, we never heard about their relationship before. We have never heard about their relationship before. Here comes the entanglement. Then the slap heard around the world with the Oscars. Now, a lot of people are thinking that it was planned. A lot of people are also thinking that Jada done put the heebie-jeebies on Will, and that one little stare down look was all it took for him to take his robotic ass up there to slap, and Tupac's freaking spirit came in him, and he was like, keep my wife's name out your mouth. He ain't never sat up there and spazzed out like that. I'm sorry, I guess spaz is not the correct word to say anymore. He ain't never flipped out like that before, ever. And literally, it just took one look for him to do that. That happens. And then during the whole entire time, we find out that during this time, y'all apparently ain't even together. Now, here's the thing. That is still his wife. And there is still a relationship and some type of love there. They have known each other for 30 years. You know what I mean? They have kids together. So, yes, there is still a protection situation going on. But at the same time, you know, he laughed it off. And then, of course, when he saw that she wasn't laughing, then, of course, he sprung into action at the worst place at the worst time. But I'm just bothered that all of this went down for protecting a woman that at this point isn't even protecting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not protecting him. You know, and maybe he feels like her part of the protection, the part of the deal is to save face and be there as his other half. But literally, he got embarrassed like crazy about that entanglement situation. There are still memes out there about the entanglement. Then on top of that, the Oscar situation happens. It just seems like everything is unraveling. And then now, when was the Oscar slap? 2021 or 2022? Was it last year? How long ago was that slap? 2022? I want to say, yeah, it was 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2022. Now here it is, not even a year or two later. Now we have this. What the hell is going on? This is why I say it's a resentment relationship. I think she resents Will. I really do. Okay, so 2022. It was 2022. Thank you, Coco. It was 2022. It literally, I feel like she resents him. And because she resents him, she's saying and doing whatever at this point. So, wait, hold on. What I know she says she has alopecia, but what is the alopecia? You talking about that has to do with what? The way she's acting right now? That's what she's saying her excuse is? Yeah. Yeah, it's literally one of those things where, you know, to me, she's trying to find every way to embarrass this man. It's like an attack on his alpha manhood, in my opinion. But again, I'm not saying Will is innocent. I'm not, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But again, what goes on behind closed doors, you have to respond in a certain way, what you put out in the public, because we only can see what you put out in the public. So literally, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And that just came to my mind. I was like, she comes off bitter and resentful. And being bitter and resentful doesn't have to come out in being angry or the rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to come out that way. She can come off very calculating. It comes off and a lot of people do feel like she's calculating and she's manipulative. Like a lot of people feel like she can easily manipulate. So it's just okay. So let me see. Could be that, or could be, but that situation with Chris is on another level because a lot of people do feel like Chris tends to attack, because that was one thing that came up a lot. He tends to attack Black people, especially Black women, more than any other people. Like if anybody's if a little bit of everybody's in the audience, he's always going for his own. That's what a lot of people feel. The entanglement was July 2015. In August of 2015, will call a queen addressing rumors of divorce. In 2016, supposedly they separated. In June of 2017, she was seen at the BET Awards. She was seen at the BET Awards with who? Because I remember at one point Will and Jada hosted the BET Awards, but I don't know what year that. Oh, I think that was years back. But yeah, okay. So it could have been that the separation officially happened where they was no longer living in the same house when that August situation really came about, and maybe he found out about it. I don't know. Let me see. Will might not be innocent, but Jada is the villain in their story. Exactly. But see, this is the thing. She is always coming off as the villain, but are there times where the person that you don't necessarily see in public is doing certain things is really the villain? Yeah, but she definitely is coming off like the villain, and it's nonstop. It has been like this for the past how many years? I'm just like, damn, like how many more stories do we have to have of Will and Jada is saying something that make everybody look at Will like, what woman did you marry? What woman did you marry? I think they were using each other than him because he ran to Dubai after the Oscar slap. Yeah, I think she married Will thinking he was going to help her become a big star. Yeah, and I said, I don't know if you were here, Kimmy. I said that earlier. I think a lot of people felt that she married him to be a kept woman and she'll be financially taken care of, which honestly, once she had that baby, she was going to be financially taken care of, married or not. I think she was willing to go along with the flow and not, and because again, she said she does not believe in marriage, the traditional, she doesn't do that. You married him for a reason. You married him because one, that's the actual position he wanted to be in. That's what will make him look good. That's what his traditions are. But you were willing to possibly go along with it because you felt like if I could get along in this situation, I can become a big star like him. And again, it backfired. But again, that's my opinion on this situation. Again, no facts, just alleged. June of 2020, August sat down on the Breakfast Club and claimed that he gave years of his life to Jada with Will's blessing, with reps from Jelly calling it true later that day. Okay, yeah. There's definitely, but I feel like, but the two of them started that Black actors weren't getting recognition. No, it wasn't really both of them. It was Jada who spoke out. You talking about the Oscar so white situation, right, Coco? Yeah, remember Jada made the announcement. And then Will just backed her saying, that's my wife. He said it was unexpected out of blue. He didn't know she was going to do it. Now, I don't know if he was lying or not, but he said he wasn't prepared for, but that's his wife. So he's going to stand by her. Literally, she's the one who started that conversation. It wasn't them together. She is the villain. The question here is, when is enough enough? Exactly. Now, Will is a Libra. He's a September Libra, but he's a Libra. So I can only imagine, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Will is perfect. And I think Jada, what is Jada? A Virgo? Yeah. I can imagine, but at the same time, for whatever reason, she's truly being a rebel of all rebels right now. And it's not making her look good, but I don't think she gives a shit. I don't think she cares. She went to the red table July 10th at 7 p.m. Keke Palmer got wrapped up in it. I don't even remember Keke Palmer getting wrapped up in it. 10 plus years. Yeah, he almost risked his career for her from that slap. Facts. That could have went left. What if Chris decided to actually press charges? That could have went completely left. Jada should have just stayed gone after getting on that bus and set it off. Remember, she was on the bus too on Jason's Lyric. She been on a couple buses in her career. Jason's Lyric, she got on a bus with him and literally went wherever. She said that's the remember when she was on that old train track. Where you think that bus going? Don't you just like the fact that you don't know where it was going? Yeah, all that type of ish. But yeah, she been on a couple of buses in her career. She slept with her son's friend. Can't get more disrespectful than that. Yeah, it was so weird. My face was like, what? Like, huh? Jada had an affair with that 22-year-old and claimed they had an open relationship. Yeah, Jada need a thug to keep her in line. I guess so. And that's what she want. Will was married to his ex-wife Sheree. Will, the story behind that is on the Red Table Talk, he always had a thing for Jada and went on the Different World set to go see Jada and ended up bumping into Sheree and then ended up having a thing for Sheree and end up literally being with Sheree, got married to her, and then when they divorced, started pursuing Jada again. So yeah, definitely. So Will is an abused man, plain and simple. He really wanted to smack her, not Chris. Chris' joke was a trigger, clearly. His ex, well, here's the thing. If she does have alopecia and him saying that, it definitely could trigger anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see that. I still feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Will has always been the nice guy his whole entire life and his whole entire career. And even the most charming, likable, I'm trying to be likable guy will finally get tired of it. Because when you really think about it, Will Smith has never had anything drastic on a negative level happen in his career. He has always kept a clean image, always. The first time he got rattled is when he was constantly being made fun of with that entanglement situation. That was the first time, in my opinion, that we saw Will Smith being laughed at versus laughing with him. People were laughing at him, in my opinion. And because of that, you can have as much publicity training and you can see what it's like to be a celebrity all you want. But until you truly get battle tested on what it's like to be a laughingstock or what it's like to have a scandal put on you, I don't think Will was prepared for that. I really don't think he was prepared for that. And I think that he did not know how to handle that because he has had a squeaky clean image 30 plus years. And then that happens. And then you literally hear all of the stories. You hear people saying, guys saying Will ain't man enough for Jada and all of this type of stuff. And then the Oscars happen. And I think he broke. I really do. A wife knows that. I'm sure she felt the vibe from Jada from the day she knew. Yeah, possibly. And she even said when she sat down with Sheree on the Red Table Talk, how she used to say certain things and they used to get into it and Will had to check her on that. Like, that's not your place. You stay in your place as, you know, my wife, but don't ever disrespect, you know what I'm saying, you know, my ex-wife and my child's mother. Oh, Nene, look, we going. We don't want to. Look, here we go. I know it's gonna be people like, I'm a Virgo, I ain't self-righteous. You know, people, I think certain, you know, and I don't, but there are certain signs that can get along and certain signs can't, and certain signs can be understood more by other signs. I think that's just what it is. But some people, yeah, and then here we go. Libra are like air. You have to let them be free. She just cares of her financial security. She's a wife. But see, the thing was, she wasn't a washed up actress when they got married. She was an it girl. And like, definitely, if you came in later, I talked about that. She was an it girl. She wasn't washed up. It was like she started to fade away, and her name recognition outside of Will started to fade away after she got married and started having her children. That's when it happened. I feel like Chris that she chose him not because she didn't have options, but she thought she could control somebody that she viewed as beneath her. I think that she felt like, if you like me that much, then fine, and I can benefit off of it. I can benefit off of it. I don't necessarily, and again, they always say, don't they always say, because I think some of the old school elders in my family have always said, the one who cares less has the most control. The one who cares less has the most control, and the one who cares less, they don't have a problem tearing something down because they don't care. You know what I mean? So they keep coming up with excuses why they stay together. Yeah. It's at this point we clearly see it's all a facade. Like it is what it is. Yes, where he felt the intentions this woman had for him. Never heard of any drama about his career until Jada and now her red table. Yeah, he had a solid, no scandals, no nothing for over 30 years. Even when he was in rap, he was a clean cut rapper. He's never been a gangster rapper. I mean, he did songs like Parents Just Don't Understand, Summertime, Jiggy With It. Very clean cut guy. And then all of a sudden, these past 7+ years, all hell is breaking loose. Where, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. She has resentment, and also she's being a rebel. Like, she's tired of keeping up this facade, and she wants to scream out. But at this point, just break free then. Because I don't think this is helping her. But again, like I said, I don't think she cares. They swear nobody will break them on tabletop. Hey Val, they are bad. Yeah, and that's what they said. Bad marriage for life on Red Table Talk. That's exactly what they said. Will's movies was a hit and miss. His biggest movies was Bad Boys. No. It Bad Boys hit. I would say his biggest movie that took him into another stratosphere as far as the roles that he got. Independence Day, Bad Boys, Men in Black. Will has had some hits under his belt. He is definitely with Men in Black. There have definitely been some misses, but I guess what would be the terms as far as misses are concerned? Because a miss, for him could be that it only did 100 million versus a billion, but yeah, he definitely got some hits. Hey man, Jada movies was hits. Hits to who? Ruby Skies. Hits to who? Because let's look at her. One of my favorite movies from her, and it was a comedy movie, was Low Down Dirty Shame with Keenan Ivory Wayans. I like that one. Set It Off, I think, was a hit for the Black community. I don't know if it was an international hit. It's a cult classic for us, I think, with that one. Then she did Woo, and I wasn't a fan of Woo. Most recently Girl Trip, which Girl Trip was a hit, but she doesn't, I don't know. I guess that's something we could talk about, and y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about that. She wasn't washed up, but it's Hollywood is what happens. Yeah, maybe nobody but her knows. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because clearly, to me, there's some resentment there. And there's also the fact that I just don't think they were ever compatible. Outrage to convert to sales one way or other. Well, this is definitely going to hopefully help her with the sales. She's doing this for that reason. Shoot, she might be trying to save her money right now. Like, she's doing that for that reason, because why bring this out now? Oh, you got a book out. Interesting. The timing is perfect. I always heard you should marry someone who loves you more than you love them. Yeah, and I think that's what she got when it came to Will. He was willing to do anything to keep that, even if it was to keep the facade of what he needed for his career, he was willing to do it. Tragically, that could be true, but she's handling it wrong. Yeah. I think Jada tried to fill a void with Will being in her life, but she always knew in her heart who she truly wanted to be with. Not saying that she didn't some love for him, but that's how she felt. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's showing even more. It's showing even more. There's a text limit. You got to read the next one. Okay, gotcha. Don't play. Will get jiggy with it. It was yes, it was gangster for us because I think I was what, maybe like in high school when that song came out, so we thought it was cute. But I don't think you had dudes in the hood playing getting jiggy with it. Yeah, Man in Black was a huge movie. I Robot, yeah, I Robot. Yeah, Independence Day took him to the next level in his career. Yeah, it did. It definitely changed the game for Will. The Muhammad Ali movie, I don't know how well it did. I know that they did huge promotion on it. I just don't know how well it did as far as numbers. And honestly, I didn't like that Muhammad Ali movie. I think he was the perfect person for the role. I don't think I necessarily like the writing of it. That's not a movie that I constantly go to watch. I didn't like it, but y'all let me know. Jada's movies were, yeah, Jason's lyrics, Set It Off. You know what I mean? Yeah, Wi-Fi. Yeah, he big sci-fi movies. Wild Wild West was his flop, yes, but then again, I still think it did about 100 million or something like that. So yeah, The Pursuit of Happiness also a big one. Yeah, he got some hits. Emancipation, yeah, I saw that. That was the one on Apple. That was all right. That was all right. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That was all right, right? Just yeah. If Jada and Will are complaining about the movie careers, they only have themselves to blame. There's no reason that them separately did fine and together couldn't figure it out. I think I don't know. I think that, and I'm wondering if behind the scenes Jada tried to pursue her career, but no one took her seriously at a certain point because she was just considered Will Smith's wife. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the case. And maybe she felt like things were given to her off the strength of that versus her talent. And if someone is serious about their craft, like clearly a Jada was, because Jada went to school for it, maybe she also resented that I'm not getting stuff because of, but again, I also feel like she did have the means to be able to create her own career, but who's to say that Will felt it was acceptable? We really don't know. We really don't know. What I do feel like is that there's resentment there. There's resentment there. And now she's coming, she's literally hitting blows on this situation. Yeah, good classes. Menace to Society, another cult hood classic. Nutty Professor, she was in Nutty Professor, which definitely was a big hit. But she's never been the star of her own movie. She's never been the first person on the call sheet when you really think about it. A lot of her stuff that are considered classics, it was a collaborative effort where she had several people who also had the same amount of, push, like a Set It Off, or she was the love interest like a Nutty Professor. And I mean, you're never going to have a bigger name than Eddie Murphy. When you think about it, she's never had a hit where she was the first person on the call sheet. It doesn't say Jada Pinkett Smith in X, Y, and Z. It's not that. You always see Will Smith in, but it's never been Jada in X, Y, and Z. Hell, even she was in damn Scream 2, and she was only in Scream 2 for the first 10 minutes. She was the first one who got offed. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she was necessarily happy or content with her career. The Big Willie Style CD, yep. She's jealous and doesn't like that she's still making movies. At 5 feet tall, Jada was never going be a leading lady. Yeah. Loved her in Matrix and Gotham TV shows as Miss Fish. Plus, she's hard looking. I think she may be, if people could say, because people have been saying that she's hard looking now. Was she hard looking in her younger years? I don't know. I always thought she looked absolutely beautiful with her pixie cuts and her short cuts. I thought she was really one who could really pull that off. You know what I mean? Because even Halle Berry had a shortcut, but it was never as short as like Jada. Jada was able to truly pull off like that, pixie cut look. She was one of the first ones, in my opinion, to do it, and it looked fly on her. They're toxic in him running to Dubai, getting away from the Oxford says a lot. She did say that she was given the Matrix because Will put, see? And when you want people to take you seriously about your craft, some people don't care. But for people who really want to be taken seriously about their craft, they don't typically want handouts like that. Some do. Some do and pretend like it was all they hard work, and it's like, no, it's because of who you married to and who you know. But, maybe she doesn't like that. They didn't see her character outside of those hood roles. Okay, I agree. Both of them a hit and miss. Yeah. He did geographic shows with his kids exploring Earth. Who? You talk about Coco. I always wondered how the Matrix would have went if Will didn't turn it down. Will turned down the Matrix. You talking about the Lawrence Fishburne role? Or are you talking about Keanu Reeves? Because I don't even remember that. I know that the Lawrence Fishburne role, Samuel L. Jackson. I think Lawrence Fishburne was supposed to do Pulp Fiction and turned it down. And then he ended up taking the Matrix, something like that. Something with a mixture of Lawrence Fishburne and Samuel L. Jackson. He's made a lot of shows on Z Shark Week. The Black community knew who Jada was along with her movies, but globally, everyone knows who Will Smith is. Exactly. He's a global star. Good point. He's no Viola or Carrie type of. She's not. She's not a lead. She's never been a lead. And the only time that she was a lead was that show that she did where she played a nurse. And I remember the show. I just don't remember the name and how long it lasted. But she did have a TV show where she played the nurse. She was also, though, if I'm not mistaken, the executive producer of it too. And they have definitely collaborated and done a lot of things behind the scenes, create shows, documentaries. As a matter of fact, they definitely. That's why they're a power couple. They have done a lot of things also behind the scenes, a lot of executive producing. Cobra Kai on Netflix, that is a Will Smith production, his production company. The Bel Air show now, that's on Peacock, all Will Smith. There's a lot of things that they do. And I want to say they both own that production company, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Alicia. She said absolutely nothing publicly to support Will when everything came out about August. No, she didn't. That's just why I feel like it's a resentment there. Resentment relationship. There is something there. And it's like, at this point, I would just rather for her to be honest and say I'm bitter as hell if that's the case. I was a young woman pursuing my acting career, really wanted to pursue that and wanted a name for myself. And she wouldn't be the only woman that chose the look of family over career and maybe regrets it. And I guess it sounds harsh to say because it sounds like she's regretting her kids. I don't think that would be the case at all. I think that there are people out there that wish maybe they would have waited or wish they were able to pursue the career that they really wanted to pursue. I think there's nothing wrong with admitting that out loud. It doesn't mean that you love your kids less, though. But that's, my opinion. Jada was always beautiful, especially back in the day when she was rocking them styles. Will turned down the Matrix for Wild Wild West, and he was supposed. Oh, got it. Thank you, brother. I think he would have been fine in that role, but I think Keanu knocked it out of the park. Yeah, as they say, everything happens for a reason. Hawthorne, yes. Do y'all know how long Hawthorne lasts? I know it was more than one season, but I don't know if it was like a 6+ seasons. I don't know if it was that. If she wasn't doing movies, either people didn't want to work with her or she was turning down scripts. It wasn't because she wasn't getting any. Did she say that? Nurse Jackie, wait, that was a Yeah. Nurse Jackie was like that dramedy thing, if I'm not mistaken, that dramedy show where it has some comedy elements, but I want to say the nurse was actually like addicted to like some type of pill or something. The show didn't last long. Yeah, I thought that was the case. Child Teeth, that was the wife from The Sopranos that played Nurse Jackie. He got a lot of crap from those other rappers because he made money not cursing. Yeah. And you know who else got a lot of slack or a lot of drama for that? MC Hammer did. MC Hammer got a lot of rappers went in on MC Hammer because MC Hammer was not doing the gangster rap or what they consider real hip hop. And yet, if I'm not mistaken, MC Hammer still has one of probably the most top selling rap albums of all time, if I'm not mistaken, with the Can't Touch This or Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him or something. But yeah, they did that with him too. 3 seasons. Okay. 3 seasons is not bad, but that's not considered a knock. Like in this day and age, if you can get past 5 seasons, that's damn good. Even if after the 6th season it ends, but if you can get past 5 seasons, that's good. So, but she's not gonna say anything to frame herself in a bad light. Who, Jada? She already framing herself in a bad light. So you might as well just keep it raw and honest at this point. I don't see how any of this is making her look good. I don't see how, and even if Will is considered a laughingstock at times, I think people are starting to point at her and say, you're the common denominator. You're the issue. You're the issue. Anytime something is now negative in the press about Will, or there's a meme being made about Will, or there's some social media skit made about Will, it has to do with Jada. It has to do with Jada. So she already looked like, she's in a bad light. I'm over here. Nene. Pumps in the bump. Someone else said the movies Jada was in and they were hits because she was in them. She just happened to be. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like even Cat Williams said when he shaded the hell out of that DJ in Atlanta, he said that script would have been good with or without Tiffany Haddish. I think whoever it just so happens, they had some heavy hitters in it, like Queen Latifah and Jada, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, apparently that script had been shopped around for years and it was still a good script just reading it off the page. They could have probably gotten a lot of different people and that still would have been a success. You know what I mean? I don't think she sees it that way though. It's for, oh yeah, she probably don't, or she don't care. At this point, maybe she's like, I'll whatever intention I can get, whatever I can get, I'm gonna get it. But I'm going to put the link down here if y'all want to come up and speak your piece. Hold on, let me see if there's anything I want to say. Let me see if I fair use. Let's continue.
Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend. Neither let the public know they had already split. So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us how to be in partnership, right? And
it don't take 7 years though.
How do we present that to people, And we hadn't figured that out.
During our walk in Baltimore, Jada reflected on their breakup. Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, why it fractured? That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
I made a promise that there will never.
So I will agree. I hope you guys heard that. I will agree that they probably had their vision of what the other should be and wanted the other to change to make them feel comfortable. And clearly that never works. I don't know why they didn't figure that out 30 years ago, but that never works. So yeah. One thing about Jada is she's a good actress, but it's not like she has a variety of different type of roles under her belt. You know what I mean? It's not like she truly plays like very like different type of roles, like even a role where you got to have an accent, or a role where, you know what I'm saying, like you truly have to get out of who you are to be someone else. She has not had those type of roles. She has not. Y'all remember when Jada Face got those face fillers? Yeah, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know if it was face fillers or it was something when it came to her, condition. Because at first I didn't know she had alopecia. Yes. Hey, Froggy. Communication, indeed. If that had been Will sleeping with Willow's friend. Exactly. I said that earlier, Kimmy. I said that earlier. What she did, the fact that she got a pass from a lot of people, but what she did, if it was a man that did that, all hell would have broke loose. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair, because the reality is we have to stop looking at it as a Me Too situation is strictly about women. We have a lot of Me Too when it comes to boys and men too. You know what I mean? Like, there are women who can have predatory behavior as well. Like, let's just keep it 100. And I like, when she was telling that story, I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, why aren't people saying that this is not cool? Like, this is not cool. Maybe they stay for the kids. Maybe, but the kids are super duper grown now. They was grown 7 years ago. I could see you staying for the kids when they were still in school. I don't think she can blame her lack of career of being a wife, because there are plenty of actors that carry that title of a man who also has a career. True. But how many of them are big time celebrities like Will Smith? How many of them are A-list actors like Will Smith? Because you only have so many A-list actors, men and women out there. How many of them are on Will Smith level? And again, the reason why I say I can't necessarily say that Will Smith is super innocent, because what if he didn't want her to have that type of level? Some people have that mentality where they only want one star in a relationship. I'm the star and that's just it. What if he didn't want her to have that? Maybe he just felt like, I'll give the surface stuff you can do so you can be happy. You can get your acting feels out. What if he didn't want that for her? You never know. The kids are grown. Yeah, no, it's okay, Kimmy. Replay game. But that's why I said, like, one thing about us, like, people have always told me, you're gonna find your crew of people. And more, the crew of people, like, we think alike in so many levels. Even if we don't think alike and we don't agree, we can still express how we feel and agree to disagree and still, show love and support towards each other. But yeah, some of y'all, before I even say things, y'all be in my head. I'll be like, oh my gosh, they thinking just like we think alike. This is crazy. But yeah, definitely, Kimmy, some of the stuff that you're saying we said earlier, but that just, great minds think alike, girl. Great minds think alike. Jada plays this girl next door or homegirl most of the time. Yeah, pretty much. We can't blame Will for everything not panning out the way she wanted to. Where's her? Oh, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's a victim in all of this. I'm just saying that there could easily be multiple sides in this situation. But I'm not saying she's a victim. Even though you'll have people who want to play victim their whole entire lives, you can't blame everybody for everything. When you are always making it seem like you the innocent one and everybody else is to blame, at a certain point, you're the common denominator. That's for sure. One of the hardest things to get is your own talk show, and she has that. The Red Table Talk. Yes, very successful, but it was on Facebook. It wasn't a syndicated type of, like, on Fox or ABC or something like that. Maybe she wanted it to go there, but she did it on Facebook. I think that everything Jada has had it's never been maybe to the caliber of what she wanted. Red Table Talk became successful, but when you really think about it, Red Table Talk became successful when they decided to air out their business. When Will came on those multiple times and certain other things that she said about herself, that's when you got a lot of attention on Red Table Talk. Jada didn't want to be a traditional housewife. Nope, she didn't even believe in marriage. Yeah. Then she should not have done that. Yeah, at least Brad and Angelina were both household names before they got together. Exactly. But the way she has taken a lead or more dominant role, I don't think she would have went along with him wanting her to be a housewife or boxing in her career. I don't know. Again, they was quiet for years. And now all of a sudden she's lashing out. You never know. You never know. On a side note, y'all saw the curly. Oh no, I did not. But yeah, we that would be a whole nother situation. But I did not see it. I did not see the update on her. But yeah. So with that being said, that's just my opinion on the situation. I don't think they were ever compatible. I think it was a relationship that was out of the convenience, but also what can happen with my career. A lot of superficial surface reasons that this relationship took place. So am I shocked now that these past several years it just has been back-to-back stuff? I am. After a certain amount of time, I am, but at the same time, it seems like Jada is just lashing out. It seems like all the years that she kept quiet and all the years that she kept, I guess, a facade and not being able to say maybe what she wanted to say, she's now saying it, but is it making her look good? Nah. Child, she got paid. That's amount a year in jail. Child, she got to pay 20,000 and amount. You talking about for anyone else besides myself watched the nurse that saw that? No, wait, y'all. Look, y'all send me DMs about this other stuff because I'm like, I'm thinking y'all talking about Jada, but y'all talking about other stuff. A relationship that sounded good on paper, but in reality, it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. And trust and believe there's a lot of relationships that are like that. That's why I say I don't look at any situation like couple goals unless I really know the ins and outs of that relationship. You just never know. You will see Will's first wife life now. She's happy and can cook her butt off. Oh, yeah. And then does she have like some lotion called like Kick Ash or something like that she was promoting at one point? So yeah, with that, that's my opinion on the situation. When it came out, I was just like, really? Y'all been separated for 7+ years. Like, why now? Well, we know that she has a book out. Am I gonna buy the book? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna buy the book. If the book is gifted to me, that's one thing. I'm not gonna buy it though. Because honestly, and interesting enough, remember a couple years ago, Will came out with his book. So it was interesting that Will comes out with his book a couple years ago, a year or two ago, and then now Jada's coming out with her book. So, and I you know what? I really think that's what it is. I really think that's what it is, that we've heard enough of your business that we didn't even ask for, nor do we care about. You gave it to us 50 times over. What else is there to really say when it comes to that book? Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, she's beautiful. Sheree is beautiful. But Jada's beautiful too. Like he definitely he's had beautiful women. My thing is, why add this dude to their drama? Right. Yes. Whoo, yeah. Gosh, Ruby, that's a whole nother story too. That is a whole nother story. But yeah, so I care less about what Jada has to say. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like we have heard so much stuff. We heard about you wanting to be on other people's tables, having freaky tales with your husband. We done heard stuff that we did not ask you for 50 times over. I don't know. What would be the point of the book? You know what I mean? And then now you want to come out with this when your book is out. So now so people can pick up your book. Very calculating, very calculating. Yeah, Cherie's married to a pastor. Yeah, she's married to a pastor. I'm interested. I don't know if Will is gonna say anything. I don't know if Will is gonna say anything. At this point, I think it is better for him to remain silent. I think now what's gonna be interesting is what's gonna happen with him making public appearances now. Is he gonna make public appearances by himself? Or is she still going to be by his side? Child, look at her face right here. Look at her face right there. Like, look at her face. And granted, they could have caught her at the worst time taking that picture, but look at her face. But I'm curious to see how public appearances now. Also, typically he doesn't do public appearances anymore unless it would be like the Oscars or the Golden Globes. Well, we clearly know he's not invited to the Oscars for the next X amount of years. You got the Golden Globes and the Emmys and stuff like that, but I don't know if he necessarily has to go because I don't think the recent slavery movie that he did on Apple, I don't know if it's going to be nominated, to be quite honest. So, maybe it won't make or break public appearances at this point because he doesn't necessarily have to go out there, but I'm curious to see if she is still on his side. You know what I mean? You said hard looking. So you've always felt she was hard looking. Hey, that's definitely your opinion, Kimmy. You are more than welcome to have it. So I've heard people say that too. I've always thought though Jada is still, she's a pretty girl. I guess I'm thinking about it like this, whereas if this was the way she publicly treats her husband, how is she treating people in the industry? Because I could see her showing up like, what do you mean I'm Jada? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I don't know. But then again, you also have people tragically who come off publicly very, very sweet and seem very, very giving, who are some of the most demonic, crazy people behind the closed door. So this is why I say, like, you don't really know who's who until you encounter them yourself multiple times. So I wouldn't even say one encounter can do it because anybody can have a bad day or off day, but you just never know because you have heard stories about people who are super sweet celebrities, but behind closed doors they are vicious and they scandalous and they will do a lot of shady stuff. Of the highlighted book is them being separated. No, apparently she talks about the Oscar situation too, but what else is there to talk about that also? Do they make real hip hop like love songs done by? And that's another thing too. Jada is not really, Will Smith is a likable person. He's likable. He has a bubbly personality. Jada is not really that way from what we've seen. So you will have a lot of people who would just buy Will Smith stuff, not just off of his celebrity, because definitely he has the status of the celebrity, but because he's a likable guy. You know what I mean? The kids did say she introduced him to Jada, got that whole house hooked on her. Oh yeah, allegedly. What was this? Psychotics or what is it? What did they talk about? But yeah. So with that, so nobody wanted to come up, huh? But I guess to a certain extent, y'all have said everything in this chat. Y'all definitely had the chat. The chat was popping like it is on Love After Lockup. It was popping. So it's Shauna. There's anything in the book we don't already know. Yeah. So I think she said this to hopefully get a couple more sales under her belt. But some people, they still not going to pick it up. Jada, you sick with teeth. I can't even say this with a straight face. He said, Jada, you sick, wicked witch, you. What? Oh my gosh. So yeah, they said Nia Long is a diva. I've heard that too. Oh, but trust and believe. There's a lot of them, y'all. There's a lot. Don't let people's persona in front of the camera and their charity work and all of this stuff fool you. You know what I'm saying? Some people are truly snakes behind the scenes. Maybe people don't want to work with her. My daughter was in the entertainment industry, and some of the thank you, Kimmy. I was just talking about that. Actors, singers, rappers, y'all can't judge what they want people to see, what they want people to see. Sometimes the truth comes out, other times you never see it. That's where them NDAs come in. Especially the higher up they are, no one really wants to say anything because they don't want their careers ruined. I think if they come out together, it'll look fake. Yeah. I'm gonna just call Jada out her name, so I'm trying to be nice. Child, what song that's made that was all him, not her? Child, what about the song that they made that was all him, not her? What song you talking? I don't know what song you talking about, Yuli. Jada needs to come out crying or something to make people sway to her. I don't even know if that will do it at this point. I mean, because look, let's not act like they already don't have a reason to be anti-Black woman in the first place. Like, let's not even fake the funk that there is already an anti-Black woman campaign. She ain't making it easier. I mean, you can blink the wrong way and they swear up and down that Black woman got an attitude or she this or she that. There's already an anti-Black woman rhetoric out there, not just in the industry, but in the world, period. So I don't know if the crying gonna do it. What was the last movie Mia was in? Best Man. If she's straight talker, she would have said, "I'm not talking about that right now." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It comes off like she's a straight talker at her convenience. When it's convenient for her, that's when she's a straight talker. But again, my opinion, all the ledge, don't know. But what I do know is that she seems very resentful. My opinion. She seems resentful. There's a lot going on there that we still probably don't know. And unless either one of them want to air it out. But I feel like if somebody's going to really start airing stuff out, it's going to be her because that's just not Will's style. And he has the upper hand in the situation. He is the megastar in the relationship. But yeah, they were never compatible. They never were. To me, First Man. That was her last movie. Mia was in Best Man. Oh no, I think she was saying what happened to Mia from Best Man. I think she was saying that was the last movie that Nia was in, was the last Best Man movie that was on Peacock. I think that's what she was saying. But with that being said, you guys, 1,000 Kisses. Will and Jada did a song called 1,000 Kisses? Child, where was I? Because I definitely don't remember that song. I didn't even know they did a song together. I didn't even know they did a song together. And honestly, I think Will tried to be supportive of Jada's career. But again, we don't know to what extent. Maybe he was only so supportive. Like, you know how you have people where I will only support you so much because you cannot reach heights. You cannot reach heights greater than me. It could have been that. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, you do have people who are like, you can do good, but you can't do better than me. You can't do better than me. I'll throw you a bone, but you're not gonna be able to do better than me. So maybe that's it. Didn't Jada's mother tell her to marry Will? Possibly, but again, the mother's is more traditional. Jada literally said on a Red Table Talk that her grandmother taught her to have a helping hand, if y'all know what I mean. She said on a Red Table Talk that her grandmother taught her to apparently do that, or is the one who introduced her to it. She don't come from traditional background. Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? And probably everything that she went through makes up to who she is today. But when she was bold enough to say that her grandmother apparently introduced her to that, I was just like, wow. Like, who is Jada? Even her mother, when she was telling that story, even her mother was looking at her like, why are you saying this? Like, why is this coming out of your mouth right now? So yeah. So with that, child, I wish both of them well. It's a sad situation because it's like, we do have we don't have that many Black couples in Hollywood. But again, I would just urge people to stop looking at Hollywood and industry couples as goals. They're couples just like everyone else. And you don't really know the reason why they're together. And that's just what it is. So I don't think Jaden would let him tell her she couldn't have. I don't think Will wanted to be with a woman that wasn't independent. Let me see. That wasn't independent. I'm not going to buy that she didn't get to things because of Will. I don't know, tragically. I don't know. I do know that Will has said he's very traditional. And what does that mean? Because there are some traditional alpha males out there who don't want an independent woman. They want a dependent woman, a woman who is going to depend on them, who is the housewife, who is the mother and taking care of the household. So we don't necessarily know. You know what I mean? Like, he's never fully broken down what he feels like a wife should be. But in certain situations, he has said he believes in tradition marriage. He doesn't believe in divorce. You know what I'm saying? He believes in keeping that unit. Now, what does that unit look like for him? That could be totally different. You know, but again, that's just my opinion in the situation, but you definitely are entitled to that. Maybe he does, but he's never really broken down what he wants in a woman or what he sees in a woman, you know, and that can be different things for different people, just like it is on what we feel is a good man, you know, or what we see is a good man for us and in our household, or a good woman. So yeah. But with that, what if he did, Chris? I mean, he's the one that put in the word for the Matrix. What do you mean, but what if he did? But okay. The Matrix for her wasn't a hit. She got a role in the Matrix, but it wasn't a hit. I'm not saying he said to completely dead her career. I'm saying that he was willing to let her have a career at a certain level. I'm saying that that's possible. That's what I'm saying. Not that he didn't want her to have a career at all, but that, yes, I will put in a word. But again, an independent woman, a true independent woman, alpha woman, the true kind, they want to pursue their career because of their control in their way and how they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's necessarily had that. I don't know if she necessarily feels like she could say that she got all of her roles because of off of her talent alone. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. She's the only one that seems to be miserable in a relationship and the only one that won't leave. I don't know. If tradition is whipped, then Will is traditional. I would want to be married to either of them. Yeah, I don't know, honey. Sometimes though, you be like, yeah, it'd be a fly on the wall to see what that situation was. You said, what if he didn't want her in what if he didn't want her in movies? Okay, if I said that and I didn't say anything added on to that, then I was wrong and I made a mistake. I didn't say in general. I'm saying that to a certain extent, she was allowed to maybe have a career, but not, again, like I said, Will Smith is Will Smith. Maybe he didn't want a woman who literally was going to his level, at his level, close to his level, or above his level. That's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, you can have a career, you can have a small career, but you're not going to be another Will Smith in his household. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So if I strictly said that, didn't say anything to add on to it, my apologies, I misspoke. But what I'm saying is that clearly, yes, there were certain things that he allowed or he called in to see if she can get certain roles and stuff. But again, maybe Jada didn't want that. Maybe she wanted to call strictly off of the talent and who she was versus him calling. Because to a certain extent, I think she did get with him, in my opinion, for her career. But sometimes you just want the name of being Will Smith's wife to be enough for someone to knock on your door. It sounds like maybe people still weren't knocking on her door because she's Will Smith's wife, and he had to actually make some calls to get some doors open. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That he wanted to say busy but not too busy. Right. You know what I mean? The major was they made a video game based on her character. But okay, so how many matrices have there been? And how many matrices has she been in? Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was never a Matrix fan. Never was. I never was. How many of them has she been in, and how many of them have there been? Because the Matrix is never going to be wrapped around her character. Never. So, yes, a success, but the success was already due to the fact that they already had Matrix fans. Wait a minute. Hold on. Responded to when you said that if he didn't want to remove it. I said, okay, I think at this point, like I'm lost because I feel like, but again, maybe I'm not being clear. We can continue to have this conversation later, but I feel like I've been clear on what I've been saying. Let's not frame it the word aloud because all of that is speculate, and that's why I said I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. Because at this point, it seems like, again, you can definitely have your opinion. But again, I've never said it's facts. I've always said that this is my opinion. And again, we don't know what is going on in this relationship. But these are just different thoughts at the end of the day. But you are definitely entitled to have your opinion. But again, that is what if. None of us really know. You know what I mean? And again, people have strong opinions about Jada just like they have strong opinions about Will. I know people who have strong opinions about Jada who are never going to like her or never be on her side. Same thing with Will. I try to bring balance in the situation. We just clearly know that there's something up in this relationship. And I think a lot of the resentment is coming from Jada. But that, again, is my opinion. Exactly, Teeth. Exactly. We're not going to blame her being Will's wife on people not going to. Okay, tragically. Okay, tragically. All right. With that being said, with that, that's your opinion. But at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion on this channel. But that is the opinion. At the end of the day, yes. It's in the city. Knowing people is half the job. You definitely know people being Will Smith's wife and be a Jada Pinkett. You do. So why didn't her career hit certain levels that clearly she wanted since she has been doing performing arts since she was in high school? How did we go from she's resentful to everything she's lacking is because she might not want it for her. Yeah. How many people is high on this live? Like, how many people are high on this live? So on that note, because it seems like also people are getting to the point where they're dropping off, we're going to end it here. Yes. Aaliyah was supposed to be in the Matrix. I remember that. And then unfortunately she passed and then Jada got it. For this side note, we are voting on legalizing weed in Ohio. I have prayed for this day and I have never been so invested in politics. On that note, okay, yeah, it's about 4 or 5 of y'all on that note. So with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. So definitely that's what I wanted to put out there. I did put the link up for the panel. Y'all definitely the chat was more lit, which I totally understand. And some of y'all are lit. But with that being said, you guys, if you guys want to continue the conversation in the comments, the replay gang, definitely listen to that. But you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will see you on my next video. Definitely will see you for the Love After Lockup also. So toodles. Have a good evening.